Okay, here we go. So tonight we are continuing with the amazing sefer Einayim of Nachum of Chernobyl, Parshat Vayakhel. Okay, and this week is continuing on the same topic as last week. The amazing topic, we could literally learn this for the entire year, the topic of Shabbat. Okay, because also in Parshat Kitisa it talks about Shabbat, and also in Vayakhel, the very beginning of Vayakhel, it says Vayakhel Moshe es kol das bnei Yisrael, that Moshe assembled the entire congregation of the Jewish people, and he started telling them about the laws of Shabbos. Okay? And he says that the Shabbos is such a holy day, and this is something that the reason why it needs to be connected to the Mishkan, this is connected in the context of the Mishkan, that he needs to tell us because there is a deep connection between Shabbat and the Mishkan. Okay? And that is something that Chazal expound upon, that what's the connection between Shabbat and the Mishkan, that Shabbat and Mishkan are actually doing the same thing. That the idea of the Mishkan is that v'shachanti b'tocham, that Hashem wants to have a real presence in the Jewish people. He wants to live among us. He wants that we should be able to make a place for Him, to make a home for Him. That's the idea of the Mishkan, and that is what Shabbat is all about. That's letting Hashem into the physical realm, and that's really the topic that the Einayim is really going about. That in Shabbat, that it's not enough. Some people are very into being very spiritual on Shabbos, and that's necessary, and that's a very important part of Shabbos. Who's going to get to that? But the truth is that it's not the whole thing. That Shabbos is not just about being spiritual. That Shabbat is also about really enjoying yourself physically, and that's a mitzvah called Oneg Shabbat. Okay, Oneg Shabbat. That it says that it's a pasuk in Yeshayahu it said v'karata Shabbat oneg. You should have an oneg on Shabbos. Oneg means enjoyment. It means pleasure. It means physical pleasure. It means that if you're not having physical pleasure on Shabbos, then you're not doing Shabbos right. Okay, so it says in the Gemara in Shabbat at the end of Shabbat Kuf Yud Chet, it says kol hama'aneg et Shabbat. If you really enjoy Shabbat, notnim lo kol min shalot libo. So then Hashem just answers any of your prayers. It elevates you spiritually, that you're in a better situation. And the Gemara says another thing in the same place. Hashomer Shabbat kilchato. If you keep Shabbos properly, afilu ovid avodah zarah k'tor enesh machlan lo. That even if you did the worst sins in the book, even if you worshipped idolatry, so machlan lo, that Hashem forgives you, because it said kol shomer Shabbat mechalalo, that if you keep Shabbat mechalalo. So literally, like the simple understanding of mechalalo is from disgracing it, from breaking Shabbos. That mechalalo, but mechalalo is the same word as machol lo, that it's forgiven for him. So we learn from here that if you keep Shabbos, so then Hashem just simply forgives you for everything. That even if you make the worst mistakes possible, so if you're connected to Shabbat, so then nothing can tarnish you at that point. So how does this work? So he explains that it says in many places. We say this in davening. It says this in the Zohar. It says that Shabbat is called Chemdat Yamim. Okay, Chemdat Yamim. So we say this in davening. Chemdat Yamim Oto Karata. That Chemdat Yamim means that Chemda means to have a deep desire. That is, it is the most desired of days, and that Hashem calls it desired. Hashem calls it something we. Lachmod is really, it's more than desire. It's really like I need to have this. It's a yearning that like it's one of the 10 Commandments. Lo sachmad is like the last of the 10 Commandments is not to covet something that belongs to somebody else. And the idea of lachmod means that I want this so much I need it. Like in Lo sachmad. So the halacha is that it's not you don't transgress this avera when you just want something that somebody else has. You have to do something about it. Like if you're just really like their sweater, so then like that's not a good midah. It's called kina. It's called jealousy. But you don't transgress the avera of the sachman. The sachman is only if you say it's a really nice sweater. could I buy it for you? Please, could I have it as a present? I really like your sweater. Please, come on, you can probably find another one, and I think it'll look much better on me. And to try to convince them that the Rambam says, that the Gemara says, is transgressing the Lo Sachman. So there's lachmod means it's not just that to desire, it's like to really need something. So the last of the Aseret Dibrat is the Sachman. So when we say that Chemdat Yamim Atakarata, the Shabbos is the day that we covet, it means that it's something that we're mamish yearning for to the point that we need it, that we can't hold ourselves back from wanting it. Okay, so where does this come from? Where does it come from? It says we say davening Chemdat Yamim Atakarata. Where did Hashem call it this? The day which is the most coveted. So there's a fascinating comment of the Baal Torah. It says in the beginning of the Torah, it says Vayakhulu Hashemayim v'haaretz. At the beginning of Shabbos, the first Shabbos, and the very, I think this is the very beginning of Perek Bet, or the very end of Perek Aleph in the Torah. So in the story of creation, so it says Vayakhulu Hashemayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am. Okay, we say it in Kiddush on Friday night. Okay, so what does it mean Vayakhulu? What does it mean Vayakhulu? So the simple understanding is Vayakhulu is Hashem finished. Hashem finished creating the heavens and the earth. Okay, that like the word kala means like the tachlit is the end. Kol is connected to the word kol, which is the entirety of something. So like the simple understanding is Vayichulu is it became a kol, meaning it's finished. Okay, but the Baal Torah says that there's another understanding of this word Vayichulu, and that is from the word that nichsefa v'gam kolsa nafshi. That the pasuk says in Tehillim that it was the lichsof. It was like there's a song on Shabbos Friday night that ka echsof nayam Shabbos. That I'm kosef. I have kisufim for Shabbos. Kisufim means I have longing for Shabbos. So it says nichsefa v'gam kalta nafshi lechatzos beis Hashem. The David Malach says that I have a yearning and I have a deep longing to be in Hashem's house. So the word kolsa nafshi is my soul is longing for something, and so the Baal Torah says when it says Vayakhulu, it's the same meaning as kalta nafshi, that my soul is yearning. Okay, so what does that mean? The Vayakhulu Hashemayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am, that the entire creation, the entire heavens and the earth were Vayakhulu, that they were longing. What does that mean? That it means that the entire creation, that there was something missing, that it wasn't complete, that they felt that they were lacking something, they were missing something that isn't enough, and that thing is Shabbos. Meaning that the entire physical world was waiting for Shabbos. The entire physical world was like, there was something that like it knew, like there was something missing. There's something missing. That, you know, we've said many times that in the physical world, so the seventh dimension, the seventh not dimension is in like the sense of like 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, but like the seventh point is something that we talk about the six directions. The 6 directions. There's north, south, east, west, up, down, and then there's the center. Right? So Shabbos is the center. Okay, Shabbos is the thing that makes everything together. Right? And we say that for another way of looking at this is from the Vilna Gaon, is that anything that has mass, so it has 6 sides, right? Same, like a similar idea that has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, and so there's 6 sides to anything that has mass, and then what's the seventh point? The 7th point is the space that it takes up. Okay, so that 7th point, whether it's the center, whether it's the space, it's the same idea, just from different perspectives. So this is the thing that gives completion to the 6 sides. Okay, in other words, that the physical world, so it's very chaotic, and that the point of the center is what gives everything context, and it's what makes everything else make sense. So without the center, so everything else is just going crazy. It's just feeling very lost, and until Shabbat, so the Shemayim Va'aret, the entire physical world, so it didn't feel in place. So Vayakhel Hashemayim Va'aretz v'chol tzvam, that the entire heavens and the earth, so they knew that like I'm not going anywhere, that I feel so just jittery, I feel so anxious, I don't know like what's happening, and Shabbat is what makes everything make sense. And that's what it means Vayakhel Hashemayim. So when it says Chedes Yamim, it means that the Redachim Chernobyl says that it means even on a deeper level, Chemdat Yamim Atakarata means that the days themselves are longing for Shabbos. That everything in the physical world is longing for this meaning, this tachlis, that there's something that's going to make everything else make sense. So that's what Shabbos is for. Okay. Now, so he starts by explaining the Gemara that says that Machla Meor Kol Avonosiv, the person that keeps Shabbos, so he gets a forgiveness for everything. This is a good free pass. You know, like everybody makes mistakes. No, nobody wants to be punished. So what do? Keep Shabbos. And it's very simple. Right? Another approach is to get married, because when you get married, Hashem also forgives you. But what do you do after that? So then afterwards, you keep Shabbos, right? So actually, when it says that when you get married, Hashem forgives you, that's the source of, by the way, for fasting on the day of your wedding, is because it's Yom Mechilat Havanot. But it says that it's not only for Chazan Kala. It says that when a person is Oleh L'Gdula, the person comes to greatness. When a person comes to greatness, Hashem forgives him. So if you ever become the president of the United States, so Hashem will forgive you for all your sins for that day. But He certainly doesn't forgive you for all the things you're going to do as president. Okay, but on that day, so maybe you should also, on the day that you come inaugurated, you should fast. Okay, good to know for after. Probably if you become the prime minister of Israel, it's also somewhat of a gedula. What? I see you as you're a prime minister material. Okay. So that's you, yes. So that hello, wow. Okay. Welcome. It's been too long. Okay, I think we need more pretzels. Could you pass the Jordan, could you have a pretzel? No, there's more pretzels coming. Yeah. So why is it that when you keep Shabbos? Why is it when you keep Shabbos that the reason why, I just want to finish because it's relevant, that the reason why when you become Chassan Kalos, Hashem forgives you for all your averos, is because you're a new person. Because like it's a new stage in life that you become like a new person. So you're not the same person that did whatever averos you did before. So it's a simple way to just escape your old self, right? It says in the Rambam that one of the things about tshuva, doing real tshuva, is okay. It's important to appreciate the little things.
Are you saving us?
No, I wasn't saving it. I was embarrassed to serve it because it's so few chips. I was just reading the other day that there was a boy in Shayashiv that it was like it was really hard for him to learn, learning in general was very difficult for him, and so he made a commitment that he wants to every week to learn the entire Parshat HaShavua with Rashi, and so after 2 months of doing it, so he told his Rosh Hashiva, Rabbi, I'm so excited, I finished 2 months of learning Chumash Rashi, the Parsha every single week. I did the entire Parsha, the entire Rashi. And so the Rosh Hashiva was very, so his name was Rosh Shlomo Feifel. And so there was and he was considered a huge Talmid Chacham, one of everybody huge Talmid Chachamim looked up to him. And so there was one Talmid Chacham that was with him, and at the table, and he said to this Talmid Chacham that this boy, he just for 2 months he did he did the entire Chumash Rashi. Isn't that amazing? And the Talmid Chacham apparently didn't get it, and he made little of it. He said I'm happy. Like it says in Shulchan Aruch that everybody's supposed to do Chumash Rashi every week, so I'm happy he got with the program. And so Rav Feifeld said here in Shayashiv we appreciate the little things. Yeah. So it's for you just because it says in Shulchan Aruch, that means that it's not praiseworthy. It means that you make nothing of it. Like for him it was very hard, and for us in our circles, so this is an amazing achievement. So we give him a standing applause for this. So this is the l'chaim to appreciating the 5 potato chips that are left. And so you ever wonder what an avera is? What's your favorite avera? There was a chaver knesset. I don't remember who it was, but there was some we had some amazing attack, and attack to the Arabs, and I don't remember when it was, and he gets up in the Knesset and he says, I would like to do in front of you, to do together with you, my favorite avera, because it says in the Torah, B'nfal oivecha al tismach. When your enemies get destroyed, don't be happy.
I heard that was only for angels.
Only for angels? Even for Jews? No. I believe that it's talking about. I believe that what Shlomo Melech really meant was that you're a Jewish enemy, that he's just your enemy because you just happen to always get into fights. So you're supposed to realize that deep down I love him even though I hate him, and that's why when he gets messed over, then you shouldn't be happy. Okay, but for actual enemies, actual non-Jewish enemies, so of course I think he was just joking about that it's an avera. So anyway, whatever your favorite avera is, the Baba Rebbe says that you're not allowed to have a dog, so that could be your favorite avera, Yeah. So, I had a student that she was she was a real hardcore Chabadnik, except for the fact that she had 3 cats. So it made it very hard to find a shidduch, because she wants somebody who's really into Chabad, and the people who are really into Chabad really aren't into cats. So Chabad, you aren't even allowed to have a cat stuffed animal.
Yeah, they only have kosher stuffed.
I thought only if you have little kids.
Why would you have it if you're
I
an
heard
adult?
that if you have kids below 3.
No.
Everyone's allowed to have stuffed animals.
Is it because you can't own non-kosher animals?
That's in the Chabad. I believe so, right? No, we have some experts here.
You know, my dog
What?
has a stuffed
What?
pig.
Okay.
It is.
I heard that if you get caught with a stuffed cat, you get kicked out of the dorms. No.
My dog has a stuffed pig.
I know. No, these girls are from Mayana. I assume. Okay, so what's an avera? So he says that you know what avera is? Avera is the words. It's the words avar ka. Avar ka. Hashem passed. What does it mean? What does it mean? Hashem passed. It means that close the door, please. It's freezing. So avar ka means that the only way. I think the other one. The only way that a person can do a sin is only if he disconnected from Hashem. Okay, if Hashem, he let Hashem disconnect. He allowed Hashem to pass from him. Okay, that's what it means. That's what avera. So is ayin vet yud. That's yud is from Hashem. Reish hey. So avar ka. Okay, so what does it mean? That the only way that every time that I'm going against Hashem's will, so really I'm allowing myself to disconnect from Hashem for that moment. Okay, so and this is called katnus. This is called like being small, right? because when a person is connected with Hashem, it's impossible for him to even when you're standing in front of me. So like I'm not going to do the thing that you told me 10 times that grosses you out, right? So I'm going to wait until you go to the bathroom, and then I'll do the thing that grosses you out. But like if I understand that you're here, so then it's impossible for me to do anything wrong, right? So the only way that a person could ever do a sin is if he allows Hashem to not be present in his consciousness. Okay, so that's why it says in the Gemara that Rishayim afilu b'chayim nikrayim mesim. Okay, a Rasha. So even when they're alive, they're considered dead. Okay, they're considered dead. It says that a tzaddik afilu b'misasam k'rim chayim. A tzaddik is even when he's dead, he's considered alive, and a Rasha even when he's alive, is considered dead. Okay, so what does that mean? That being alive means that you're connected to the source of life. Okay? So a person that's not connected to the source of life, so then they're dead. They're dead. It's like we have an interesting thing where that as long as we have a physical body, so our souls can be a parasite. You know what a parasite is? Well, it's like a parasite is these worms, or in humans it's worms at least. I don't know. It could be other kinds of parasites that they cling onto you, and they take all of the nourishment from you. They take they give nothing and they take everything. Okay, and it's only because of you that they're able to live. Okay, in the secular world, they hate the Haredim, and they don't understand that the Haredim are giving spiritual presence to the world and give spiritual presence to the land of Israel, and they're making sure that Judaism is going to exist 1,000 years from now. But they don't believe in that stuff, so they like to call the Haredim parasitim. That's Hebrew for parasites. Okay, so if anybody ever calls you a parasite, so that means that you look very religious, and the idea is that they don't look at the Haredim as if they're giving anything, and they're just taking. So in this world, so the soul can be a parasite to the body. Then you can have a dead soul. You can have a dead soul that doesn't die, because he's able to take nourishment from the body. You can have a person that actually their soul should be dead, that they have nothing, they have no nourishment. They didn't do one mitzvah that would make any sense for it to have a life source, and yet, so how come he doesn't die? If you don't have a soul, you're dead, right? So how come you're not dead? Because when you have a body, so the soul can be a parasite on the body. But really, the true essence of you, if you look at your soul for itself, do you have a life? No, you don't have a life, so you're actually dead. Okay, that's what it means. That's Rishayim afilu b'chayim k'rei mesim.
Do you come back to life?
Right?
Do you come back to life?
If you do tshuva, if you come to Hashem, if you find Hashem again, okay. But if you're not connected to Hashem, so then you're actually dead, okay. So this is that's why it says. So that's why it says that the word for desecrating Shabbos, is lechalel Shabbat. Right? That means to break Shabbos, means lechalel Shabbat. So Nachman Shonava says that the word halal, so it has another meaning as well. That we refer to a halal in Parshat Shoftim. It talks about an Egla Rufa. Talks about a halal. It means a carcass. It means a dead person. The person is called a halal. The halal cherev. Hey, shalom. So a halal is a dead body. So a person who breaks Shabbos. So it's not just halal from the word chol, that he makes it he made it like a weekday. He made himself like a halal. Okay, he made himself disconnected from the source. Okay, so what's that have to do with Shabbos? So what's after Shabbos? The Shabbos is the soul of the universe. Shabbos is the soul of creation, And that's why the entire world was kosa nafshi, kosa v'gam kosa nafshi. The entire world was waiting, was coveting for their soul to come. There was like, they felt like, I feel so dead. You know, like you feel like before you drink coffee in the morning. You know, that's like just, if only I could be alive. Like just the desire to be alive. So Hashem is the coffee of the soul. Okay, Shabbos is the coffee of the world. Okay, that the world is feeling just dead and just, it's like a body without a soul, and it longs to have a soul, and it longs for Shabbos. It longs to really be alive. So that's how Shabbos is bringing a soul to our lives, and bringing a meaning to everything else. Okay, so first of all, this is getting back to how we started. That we talked about that there's a mitzvah of Einayim Shabbos. There's a mitzvah of enjoying physical things on Shabbos. So why is there a mitzvah of enjoying physical things on Shabbos? That part of the mitzvah of Shabbos is that it's not just what you're doing on Shabbos, it's also that it's retroactively giving meaning to the 6 days of creation. Okay? That's what we see in the beginning of this Parshat. That it says, Vayakhel Moshe is called as Meor v'yamar elad v'ayim asher tzivah Hashem la'aseh esam. So this is that Hashem is coming to tell him the mitzvah of Shabbos. And how does it start the mitzvah of Shabbos? Sheishes yamin te'aseh melacha. That for 6 days you should work. V'yam hashvi Shabbat Shabbosin ya'kodesh l'Hashem. And then the 7th day is Shabbos. Why is it talk about the 6 days of creation? Why is it talk about the 6 days of working? Who cares if you work? So the reason is because part of what Shabbos is here for is to give a meaning retroactively to everything that you're doing until now. Okay, meaning that Shabbos has double reality. First of all, Shabbos is what it is. Okay, Shabbos is that I'm connecting with Hashem, I'm enjoying myself, I'm connecting with my friends, I'm connecting with myself. But it's also giving meaning retroactively to everything I was doing for the 6 days of the week. Okay, so the 6 days I was working towards something, and by preparing for Shabbos, so by having Shabbos, it gives meaning to the fact that I was preparing for Shabbos. Okay? If there wouldn't be a Shabbos, then the preparation wouldn't be worth anything. Like obviously, the whole Friday I was going crazy. So if there would be Shabbos, then I was really just wasting my time the whole Friday, right? So my entire life, like I was breaking my teeth to get some degree, to get some job, to get any accomplishment that I was trying to do. I was trying to learn something. I was trying to whatever it is, and I was trying to. Oh, he's not here anymore. I was trying to get that girl to go out with me. So you're the all of your work. So it seems like it's like maybe yes, maybe no. And once you get there, so then retroactively it means something, right? When you get somewhere, so then all the steps on the way, so then they're so amazing, right? It says that when Mashiach comes, this is from Shmelka of Nicholsburg, he says that when Mashiach comes, so Hashem is going to show everybody what their participation was in bringing Mashiach. That you're gonna understand, you're gonna really see all of the steps that you had, that time that it was really hard for you to say the bracha, and you remember to say the bracha, that brought him one step closer. And everything it's a group effort. Like bringing the geula is totally a group effort. And when Mashiach comes, then we're going to see how we all took part in it, and we're going to see retroactively how the 6 days of the week was so awesome. It was so Shabbostic. Okay, so this is what it means. This is the double meaning of Shabbos. That first of all, it is what it is. Second, first of all, that it is this spiritual reality. And second of all, it's also giving meaning retroactively to the days before, right? So that's what. So that's why there's a mitzvah of Einayim Shabbos. The mitzvah of Einayim Shabbos is that to not ignore the physical reality of the 6 days of the week. That the 6 days I'm doing physical things. The 6 days I'm working, I'm making a living, I'm trying to get money, I'm trying to whatever. And the 7th day, so it's not enough to turn to the spiritual, but I need to take the spiritual and connect it with the physical, right? Right, Lamashal, like so in Chabad. So there was a guy, there was some like Kiruv program that they so they took like these first college kids and like for some like summer camp, I don't know exactly, and so one of these kids, they said, wow, I see like Jews really like to drink. So like every night they had like every night they had a forbidden. Like this night is like tonight was the Yortzeit of this Rebbe, and the next night is the birthday of some Rebbetzin, and the next day is the Chag HaGula of this Rebbe, and every day was another yontif. So so he says like I see you guys really like to drink. So the rabbi says I don't know what you're talking about. We don't drink. Rabbi, what are you talking about? I was here for the past 5 nights. Every night you finished 3 bottles of alcohol. So he says, oh, you mean the Chayims? So that's not drinking. That's Shabbos. Shabbos we don't drink, right? And Shabbos you're elevating the physical with connecting it with spiritual, right? Meaning that there's one thing to be on a physical plane, and there's another thing to be on a spiritual plane. And the highest is when you take the physical and you connect it with the spiritual, right? That's why he says that it says the Shabbos is me'en olam haba, right? So he says really when it says Shabbos is me'en olam haba, it doesn't really mean olam haba, because olam haba is just your soul. Really, when it says olam haba, really it means the Shabbos is really a taste of what's going to be really at the end. And really at the end is Tchias HaMesim. Tchias HaMesim is when you have a body too. Because that's really the Tachlis. So that in Shabbos, it's because it's Me'en Tchias HaMesim. So that's why that you're not keeping Shabbos properly if you're not partying, if you're not really enjoying yourself, if you're not eating your favorite foods. No? His rabbi in Ofakim, his name was Rav Pinkus. He would sometimes. He would sometimes he didn't do this every week, but he wrote in his biography he would sometimes send his kids to the candy store, and he would tell them buy whatever you want. He was trying to teach them a different thing because it says that whatever money you spend on Shabbos, so Hashem pays you back. So he would tell his kids, go to the candy store and just buy whatever you want, no limits. And so he was you need to have candy on Shabbos. You need to have whatever it is, your sour sticks, whatever it is, does it for you. Carrot muffins. Mm-hmm. So, and it's not Shabbos without the physical. Okay, and he says this is what it means. That the Gemara says in Shabbos. There's a question that everybody asks. It says in the Gemara that ilu sham Yisrael shtei Shabbos miyad nigalim. That it says that if the Jewish people would keep two Shabboses, that they would immediately be redeemed. They immediately have Geula. So everybody asks that there's another Gemara that says that if everybody would keep one Shabbos, then they would immediately be redeemed. Okay, so it's a contradiction. One place it says one Shabbos, one place it says 2 Shabboses. Okay, so there's a Torah from the Sfas Emes. The Sfas Emes says that really the real thing is the one Shabbos. But the thing is that how do you have a Shabbos? To really have a Shabbos, you really need to have 6 days of preparing for Shabbos. And the only way to have 6 days of preparing for Shabbos is only if you have a Shabbos before. Okay, it's only on Shabbos. So like Shabbos gives us the bracha for the next 6 days. And if I had a good Shabbos, so now on Sunday, now I can really, now I have enough siyata shmaya, I have enough energy, and I have enough direction that now I can focus on Sunday for the next Shabbos. Now in the next Monday I can focus on the next Shabbos. And it's only because of last Shabbos that I was able to focus on Sunday for the next Shabbos. And then when I cut to Shabbos, then I really have Shabbos. Then that's the Sfas Emes. But Rav Nachum Shnabel says, and I saw brought down that it was like this is the big thing in Chassidus, that the Tos Yaakov Yosef quotes his friend Rav Nachum Shnabel for saying this, this was accepted understanding in the world of Chassidus, that when it says Shtei Shabbosos, it means that there's 2 elements of Shabbos. There's 2 elements of Shabbos. That when it says that in order to be Nigalim, in order to have Geula, you need to have 2 Shabboses, doesn't mean 2 Shabboses, it means that there's the 2 dimensions of Shabbos. Okay, and that's this. And that is that it's not enough to have a physical Shabbos. you have to have a spiritual Shabbos. Not have to have a spiritual Shabbos, you have to have a physical Shabbos. Okay? I told you, told the story last week that there was a guy that the Baal Shem Tov wanted to see who's his neighbor in Gan Eden, and he found this guy that he was. You heard of this? That he was he didn't keep Shabbos at all. That every Shabbos, so he would make a big party and everybody was playing music and I asked him what's going on, and so he said, I'll tell you that I'm a Jew, and before my father passed away, so he told me that you have to know that you're a Jew, and my last will and testament is that every Friday night you have to celebrate that you're a Jew, and that's the mitzvah of Shabbos. And so he didn't understand what it means to keep Shabbos. So he just knew that my father said you have to make a big party every Friday night. And so every Friday night he would go all out and he would have big steaks and barbecues and music and smoking and he didn't get it, but he was totally celebrating Shabbos. Yet he was celebrating that he's a Jew. So but it's on the one hand you have to have a big party. If you're not going to have a big party, then you're not doing it. But you also have to have the spiritual. You have to have if you're just partying, for some people are into Shabbos from they enjoy the social aspect of Shabbos. They enjoy the time to have time to myself, and it's not the whole point. It's I remember I was once speaking to a student that she was very into gratitude. Very into gratitude, as a meditation. She would have a gratitude meditation every day, and so I asked her once, to whom do you have gratitude? She said, I never thought of that. So that there's no place to have gratitude unless I'm connecting with God. So the whole point of the party is because Hashem is here, because Hashem is coming down, the Shekhinah is present, and that's what Shabbos is all about. So the neshama of Shabbos is celebrating the fact that we have connection with Hashem, and the way that we celebrate the neshama of Shabbos is with spiritual things, and that's with mirrors, and that's with davening, and that's with learning Torah, and that's if you're missing that aspect, so then the soul is missing. So this is the two Shabboses. When it says Ilu Sham Yisrael Shtei Shabbosos Miyad Nigalim, that if they would keep two Shabboses, that they're immediately going to be saved. So it means that you have to keep Shabbos in the physical sense. Okay, you have to make sure that that you have a serious party. Okay, but you also have to keep Shabbos in a spiritual sense. That it's the Zohar calls it the Yoma de Nishmata. It's a day for your soul. Okay, Shabbos is a day for your soul. It's a day to really be aware. It says we have Neshama Yasera. It says we have a deeper soul, a double soul on Shabbos. We have a deeper connection with the spiritual, and to ignore this is not keeping Shabbos. It's missing the point. So he writes that this is really true on a very deep level. That it says that Shabbos is connected to the world of machshava. Okay, meaning the 6 days of the week are connected to the world of doing, and Shabbos is connected to the world of thinking. Olam machshava, and so the world of machshava is called in Hebrew chachma. Okay, so what do we know about chachma? That chachma is the source of creation. Chachma is the source of creation. That's why it says kulam b'chachma asita. That the first in Kabbalah, for example, it says that the first thing that comes down is the sphere of chachma, because before I do something, so I need to think about it. So and in the thinking process, so the first step of the thinking process is that first spark of inspiration, the first idea, the first that eureka moment, that something, the idea is coming down before it really has shaped, before I really understand what it is. It's just this very blurry vision of where I would like to be. So that's called chachma. Okay, so that's the world of Shabbos. The world of Shabbos represents the olam hachachma, and that's why Shabbos actually preceded the Torah. Shabbos actually preceded the Torah. It says that before we got the Torah at Sinai, so in Mara, in Parshas Peshalach, so we already got the mitzvah Shabbos, because Shabbos is really the source of everything, and you can't have a Torah before you have Shabbos, because Shabbos is the world of Hashem's inspiration coming down. Now, there's many people that the Chazon Ish said that he has his deepest thoughts on Shabbos. That his deepest inspirations were on Shabbos. Like I had a friend that was very spiritual but not so religious, and he was an artist, and he told me that he did his most amazing art on Shabbos, which is yeah, no, it's not. It's like it's like but it's like there's something about Shabbos that that's also not keeping Shabbos. Like it's beautiful that he's connected to his inspiration, but that's only half of Shabbos. Right? There's also the physical. So the world of Shabbos is connected to the world of inspiration, because you're connected to the source, and that's why it was necessary to precede the Torah with Shabbos. That's why the Gemara says, the Mishnah says, that Shabbos is because Kaharara Matulim Basara. It's like mountains which are held up by a hair. Okay, what does that mean? It means that there's very, very few psukim that talk about what it means to keep Shabbos. It's just very, very vaguely, very, very like in hints. It says it just says don't do malacha, and the halachas of Shabbos is like I teach Shabbos in one school. It takes like a year to learn Shabbos. Right? And that's all that's like 40 hours to just explain what's it mean. Don't do malacha. So it's a lot of it's a mountain. It's a huge amount of information, which is all held by a hair. In the Torah, it's just by a hair. So why is the metaphor of Shabbos a mountain which is held up by a hair? Because Shabbos is Chachma. Because Shabbos is that inspiration, that this spark of inspiration that in it really is everything. Is like that is in that spark of inspiration. So really you didn't understand it yet, but from that spark is really going to come the entire design, the entire architecture, is the entire bringing all the builders and bringing all the painters and bringing all the everything that's going to come together to building the building. So it was all in that kernel of the idea of that inspiration that came down. So that's why when the Torah is bringing down Shabbos, because Shabbos represents that the Chachma, the world of Machshava, the world of that, what makes everything alive. So that's what Shabbos is. Okay. So a person that's living in the world of Shabbos, so it's really that's what makes everything else make sense. That's what gives soul. That's what really brings his entire 6 days to life. And this is expressed also in keeping Shabbos. Okay, so keeping Shabbos. So this is his last point. That it says that before the sin of the tree of knowledge, so Adam and Eve, their entire existence was supposed to be a spiritual existence. Like they didn't. There was no concept. There was no concept of like just having to make a living. There was like everything was done for them. They were going to have servants. They were going to have just everything just growing on trees, like this expression like money doesn't grow on trees. So like in Gan Eden, so money grew on trees. Like there was not everything was there for them. So the work that they had to do was spiritual work. It was only just self-improvement. It was all just like what you come to Israel for, until you make Aliyah, then you have to get it. Then it's fake. Then you realize that you have to get a job, and then, but there's something beautiful about the bubble, the bubble of being in yeshiva and Sam, is that like that you're able to just focus like with a full heart on just my personal growth, and then it's not real. It's not realistic, but you're living the existence of pre-sin. Before the tree of the sin, before the sin of the tree of knowledge, and that's exactly what life was supposed to be for Adam and Eve. Okay, their entire life was, how can I improve myself as a perfect person? How can I come closer to Hashem? That was their entire existence. Okay, now as a result of messing up, so it says that the physical world was cursed. The physical world was messed over. So that because the physical world was cursed, so now the physical world no longer presented itself to mankind to say, okay, at your service, here I am. Okay, so that's why that by keeping Shabbos, so what are we doing? So the 39 things that we don't do on Shabbos, those are the 39 things that Adam and Eve only had to start doing as a result of this mess up. Okay, meaning these 39 things that until the sin were being done by themselves, so then as a result of the sin, as a result of the mess up, so then suddenly they had to do it themselves. Okay, so when we're abstaining from doing Malach on Shabbos, what are we really doing? We're really reconnecting to this state of existence of pre-sin. Really reconnecting to the state of existence that everything is perfect, everything is here for me, and what's left for me to do? The only thing that's left for me to do is to really work on my relationship with Hashem. Okay, and that's what's, and there's a very interesting thing that in Aramaic, the word for curse is layat. There's a latie means the curse. I remember one of my rabbis, so his wife had like Diet Coke, so it wasn't Diet Coke. It was some spring drink. It was because it said light on it, like spring light or something. So, and he was saying, and she said, could you pass the juice? He said, you want the cursed juice? Light in Aramaic. So, but what? Ooh. Where do you want to go with this? You already know that you're speaking to somebody that coffee is the elixir of life. So I'm not sure where you want to take that. So
I take it back. I want to take it back.
Okay, good. Maybe latte is like
Latte just means milk, though. It's short for cafe latte.
cafe. But
If you order a latte in Italy, they'll just give you milk.
but latte. But lamitet means cursed. So
Why is the milk cursed? I don't know.
So maybe it's only.
Lactose intolerant.
Okay, we'll have to work that one out. But it's a girl curse. So lamitet, the lamitet malachos, the 39 things that we're not doing on Shabbos. Those are the 39 things that we have to do because of the curse to existence. Okay, so that's really why we're keeping Shabbos. By keeping Shabbos, we're connecting to a world which is only spiritual. Okay, so this is the keeping Shabbos, the not doing Malach on Shabbos. So this is our way of connecting to the world of Chachma, the world of Machshava, which is as opposed to the world of Maaseh, as opposed to the world of doing, and that's what the seventh day is, to be able to focus on who I really am and who my soul is. That's the world of Chachma, and that's one Shabbos. But there's another Shabbos, and the other Shabbos is called a Ma'anigas Shabbos, that it has to have the physical aspect as well. Okay, and the physical aspect is that we're connecting the soul of Shabbos to the body of Shabbos. Okay, and this is, like we said, is like Me'en Tchiyas HaMesim, and this is why. So when a person is connecting his physical existence to the source of life, so then because a person, like we started by talking about what's an avera. Like avera is avarya, that I took my God was missing in my life. Okay, I was able to escape, to forget about Hashem for a moment. I was able to forget about Hashem for a moment, and from that place of detaching myself from Hashem, so I was able to go against it, and that's why for that moment that I'm forgetting about Hashem, so for that moment I'm a little bit dead. Okay, so Shabbos is about reconnecting to my source of life. Okay, Shabbos is about reconnecting to the source of everything, which is really the secret of mechila. Meaning that there's two ways. A person that wants to fix himself, a person that messed up, a person that did a sin. So there's two ways to. Well, you could also get married, right? But there's two ways to get rid of your avera, right? One is to like this whole process of tshuva, and it's the whole process. But Shabbos is a new opportunity. It's a better way. It's a better way to undo what you did, because it's fixing it in the source. Because like a person that's messing up, that we say that there's a word from the Rishner that Yom Kippur is Yom Kippurim. It's like Purim. Okay, Purim is much better. Purim is much higher. It's much higher than Yom Kippur. And why is Purim a higher day than Yom Kippur? Because on Yom Kippur, so I'm dealing with my averos. I'm not like al chet, and like I'm really, I have to look my averos in the face, and like part of what Yom Kippur is all about is like feeling bad for all the mistakes and thinking about the mistakes, but Purim is even higher than that. Purim is that is adlo yada. Purim is about Purim is all about fixing the sin of the tree of knowledge, because the source of all sins, in the world is that from the Eitz Hadat to Overah, that the source of everything is from that, is from thinking that I understand. Okay? Like people that think that they understand, that place in my mind that I think that I get it, so that is the worst place that you could possibly be. Okay, so on Yom Kippur, so I have to deal with with my life as much as I understand it. Like so, I make a list of all the things that I messed up, and I say, okay, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. No more pork, no more going to that bar, no more. I'm making a list of all the mistakes, and that's a das kind of coming together with my sins, and that's formal, conventional tshuva, okay, and that's sweet, and that's beautiful. But there's something even higher. And that even higher is ad lo yada. There's ad lo yada. That's why it says that the source of Haman is in the Eitz Hadat. It says Hamin ha'etz. Hamin ha'etz is the source of Haman in the Torah. So on Purim, so we connect to this place that I'm going to forget about everything I know. Let me realize that I don't know anything. I would like to connect to this chachma, which is undistinguishable, this vague spark of inspiration that I can't really tell you what it is. I just know that I like it. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to connect to on Purim. Okay, this is like this pre-existence, this pre-understanding, and that's the life source of the world, and that's what I'm doing on Shabbat. So this is a better way. It's a way of like circumventing the whole tshuva process. It's Meor that you get like a free pass because you're connected to the source. Like Hashem understands that the only reason why you sinned is because you were detached. Now that you're reattaching yourself, so then there's no place for sin. Okay, so it's a much better way to get atonement. It's a much better way to get mechila for your sins. It's just to solve the problem at the core. Okay, to really, it's like tshuva. This is that Shabbos is the epitome of tshuva. That's why it says that it says in the Zohar that V'shavta is the same letters as Shabbat. It's like the tshuva, the Shabbos is the greatest tshuva because it circumvents the need to think about me'averes, to think like all of the reason why I did the veras is not because I really like pork. The reason why I did the veras is because I forgot about what I'm doing with my life. Okay, and so Shabbos is like bringing me back my soul. It's really just reminding me, reviving me, and really like filling me up again with this connection. That when I'm with this connection, so then it's not possible for me to mess up. And so it's a much cleaner way. It's a much more direct way to get to mechila. So this is, and that's why when we're enjoying Shabbos, when we're partying on Shabbos, when we're drinking on Shabbos, when we're fill in the blanks on Shabbos, things that I can't say because we're being recorded, that the so then bring that together with my spiritual connection. So that's really the tachlis, and that's what brings the geula. And so this is why it's a good investment. Like Shabbos is really the best investment that we could do. So it's almost Shabbos already. Sunday is only 6 days away. So really the first thing that we need to reprogram ourselves, to rewire our brains is that everything I'm doing for Shabbos, everything I'm doing the Shabbos is about that my life is getting somewhere. Shabbos is about that I know I have a path, I have a direction, and so when I know that I have a direction, so then that makes my entire life, that makes my 6 days of the week much more meaningful. So I can live my 6 days of the week with a Shabbos stick, with knowing that I'm moving towards something, moving towards this purpose, moving towards this goal, and that's really what Shabbos is all about. So it's really to miss Shabbos. To miss Shabbos is the greatest thing. To miss, to feel like I'm looking forward to Shabbos. That's really the sign that your soul is in a good place. Like when you feel that there's something on Shabbos that I would like to be there already. So then, and when you miss it, so then there's something beautiful about missing. That I don't remember when we were talking about this. That a person who's foolish thinks that when they miss something, so then it's bad. But the truth is that when you miss something, so then you're in such a good place that you have something to miss. If people who have nothing in life have nothing to miss, they don't feel bad. The person that they have somebody that they love that passed away, so that there's no they don't have something. They don't have a connection to somebody that's not there. Person that misses their friend. It means that the friend is not there. So a person that misses Shabbos means that I have a connection to Shabbos. That means that I am there. That I am a person that would like this deeper connection. And if I feel like I feel disconnected to Hashem, I miss Hashem. So then the fact that I'm missing it, that means that my soul is really supposed to be there. And so that proves that I'm actually there. That means that proves I'm actually connected. So to have a 6 days that you're actually missing Shabbos, that is the most amazing thing. That means that even for 6 days, even when you're missing Shabbos, you're connected to Shabbos. So that's what we're aspiring to. So to always be, the more that we're missing Shabbos, the more that we have Shabbos for our entire lives. Okay. So there was a yid that Shlomo Kabach had this story that there was when he was in Vienna. So his father was a Rav in Vienna, and so he I don't remember what year it was. Maybe it was in the late 30s. It was before the Holocaust, and it was towards the beginning of the Holocaust, and they had curfews that they weren't allowed to be out during the hours. There were very few hours they were allowed to be out, and so there was they had the minyan that they were allowed to only they had to be home, they had to be in their houses from 9 o'clock in the morning. So Shabbos morning, they had, his father would have a minyan in his house, and they would start at 6 o'clock, and they would finish by 8, and everybody would run home, and they did it very quick. And so one day there was this guest that they never saw before, and so he started davening, and the chazan was going very fast, and he says, you can't daven like that. When you're davening, our prayers are supposed to go up, and the way you're davening, so your prayers just go down. So he says, I know, this is the way I know how to daven. You want to do it for me? So he says, yes, I want to do it. I'll be the chazan. And so he starts davening as if there's no as if there's no Holocaust going on, there's no curfew, there's no nothing, and he starts, and so he started davening Nishmas, and he says Nishmas kol chai dvarei shimcha Shem Elokeinu. This is the first time, and so after he davened, so this was his melody. And so after davening, so he goes to, so Shlomo was a kid, and he goes to, and so he says to him, he says, what's your name? So he says, Mirov min Moshe. I don't remember the whole thing. I'm saying this wrong, but he was singing this melody of Good Shabbos, and so Shlomo called him the Moshe Good Shabbos, that just Good Shabbos, 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 and then this is where he learned this nigun from this yid that from it was from original chassid, and he didn't stop singing like his entire life. He was just always saying Good Shabbos, and they never stopped singing Good Shabbos, and so the davening went on forever, and so it was after the curfew when they finished davening, and so he said, I need to make kiddush, and they said, okay, but quiet, we're not allowed, they can't hear us. And he said, no, I need to open the windows. The whole Austria needs to hear that it's Shabbos. And so I said, no, please. He said, no, it'll be fine. And he starts shouting out, Austria, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. And they're all going crazy. And anyway, so he leaves. So he leaves them, and somehow everybody gets home safe. And before he leaves, so he says, promise me, I need to see you again. You need to come back again. So he says, okay, I'm going to come Tuesday night, and I'm going to knock on the door 7 times to cover Shabbos. And so he's waiting for him. He's waiting for him Wednesday night, and he's waiting. It's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning. So finally, there's 7 knocks on the door, and he comes in. And he says, Good Shabbos, Good Shabbos. He's never heard a person saying Good Shabbos since Wednesday night. And he says that was the first time that he started learning Rabbi Nachman. It was the first time in his life that somebody told him who Rabbi Nachman Breslov is. And so he never met a person that his entire life was Shabbos. Entire life was just waiting for Shabbos. And so the years later. So Shlomo met this guy, and he met him on the bus in Tel Aviv. He was on the train in Tel Aviv, and he said, "Are you Shlomo from Vienna?" And he says, "Yes, it was quite a matter of years since he's from Vienna, but he was." So he said to him, "And do you remember Moshe?" And so Shlomo says, I probably met 500 Moshes in the course of my life, but I don't know why. But I asked him, "Do you mean Moshe Good Shabbos?" So yeah, Moshe Good Shabbos. And so he said, "Do you know what happened to him? Do you know what the end of the story was?" So he said, "No, I don't." So he said, "Okay, then you have to, this is a serious thing. Let's go off the train." So they go and they walk over to the beach, and he says so that the truth is the Moshe eventually they organized that he should get visas to be able to exit, to be able to exit to go to get out, and they were on the train. They got their visas and they were on the train to come to freedom, to come to safety. And so he tells his wife, and his all kids are all there, and that come on, I have to just one last time. I have to remind Austria about Shabbos. So he opens up the window of the train, and he says, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. And so this much like a Shabbos. So I forgot to tell you a story that he was like the Führer's number one enemy. That he was wanted, dead or alive. That he was always like going like in the middle of the night. He was always going like and taking food and giving it to different people that the people like the husbands was taken to war and kidnapped and whatever. And he was always like they knew that he was always like that he was doing illegal things the entire night. And so he was like the police knew his face. And so they saw when he stuck his head out the window to say good Shabbos for one last time. So they stopped the train, and they came and shot him on the spot. Shot him on the spot in front of his wife and children, and that was the end. And so it's a very tragic ending, but like it's a very powerful story. This is a story of a person that really understood that the 6 days of the week are really yearning for Shabbos, and like our entire lives, that there is something so much greater, that when Shabbos comes, so then everything is going to make sense, and all of the problems that we have, and all of the mess-ups, and all of the anxiety, and all of the hatred, and all of the stress that we have, it's all because Shabbos is not here, and that all of so to be able to turn these things over, and realize that this is what's going to help us to yearn for Shabbos. So that's going to really bring the Geula, and that's really what it means. That it's really to keep Shabbos. Shnei Shabbos is Miyad Nigalim. So B'ezrat Hashem. So we should have should really be able to connect to Shabbos all 7 days of the week, and this is really what's going to really redefine our lives in every way. And B'ezrat Hashem bring Geula now.